This strange thing I'm trying to play is what I've dubbed the Poikilophone, or Poik for short. I've posted a few other videos of me playing it. In this video, I want to talk about it a little, what it is, what I'm trying to do, and to a small extent, how it works. I'm trying to create a new instrument, or really more like a family of instruments, which are highly expressive, and which also let you do new things, that create new sounds or control those sounds in new ways. Some people approach this problem by developing their own instruments from scratch. That's fantastic stuff. I love that stuff. But here I'm trying to do something different. There are many excellent MIDI controllers on the market today. There are amazing plugins, synths, samplers, effects, etc. I'm trying to take some of these and combine them in new ways, weaving it all together with my own software in Max that I'm writing in Max MSP. As I do that, I have a few goals. Above all, expressivity, trying to make it an instrument that you can really play with feeling. Also, one that has a vast range of possible expression, where you can go from subtle, nuanced, quiet sounds to the wildest, rawest, crazy, abstract noise, and be able to do that very, very rapidly, to move between the points in that space very rapidly, to be able to morph a sound from any point, from any extreme to any other extreme. Also to try and make it something that can be used in different genres of music, that can be used to play conventional tonal music, but can also be taken out to the wildest extremes of experimental free sound. And lastly, I'm trying to make it intuitive. I'm trying to make it such that you don't have to practice for years to master it. Now, that goal is hard. Any new instrument, any instrument that you're going to play expressively is going to require practice. There's no way to avoid that completely. And in fact, I end up doing a lot of practice on this, trying to master it. But the point is, it shouldn't be harder than necessary. And the key to doing that is to make the ways that the control maps to the parameters and how each one is contoured and so on, to make that as intuitive and natural as possible. In this version of Poik, I'm using 3 controllers. I've got a Tech Control MIDI breath controller here, senses breath strength. It also senses head movement, nod, tilt, and it has a bite control as well. I'm using 2 C-board blocks from Rolly for a total of 4 octaves. And I've also got an expression foot pedal under the desk here. For software, the core of the system is a subtractive synth I created myself in Max MSP. And I'm using a few plugins of a Valhalla Shimmer, an Object Delay, a Synaptic Trash 2. I think that's about it. So how have I got it all put together? What's the control? Well, first of all, when I blow, I'm controlling the loudness of the notes. And I can do all kinds of things with dynamics. I can come in light as a feather like that, or I can do a more punchy sforzando. Can do sforzando piano and then back up to fortissimo. So articulation like a wind instrument. You might also notice that the brightness is varying as I blow harder. That's typical of acoustic wind instruments, and I've modeled it here by opening up a filter as I blow harder. So, for example, on a low note, I can do various kinds of articulation with the breath. So I can do tonguing and slurring like any wind instrument. That's an important part of expressivity on wind instruments, of course. I can even do double tonguing. I used to play French horn. Double tonguing is where you go tick, 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 very, very fast. So let's see, we can do something like this. I need to practice that more. It's a bit rough still, but basically possible. Then on the rolly, I'm controlling pitch. I can do vibratos and glides. Let's see, what shall I do here? That's one of the trickiest things on it. It's like a bit like playing a violin or something. You have continuous control and it needs practice. What else do I have? It's polyphonic, so I can play harmony under the breath control. Other stuff. I'm using head nod to control timbre as well as the strength of the breath. So if I play low, I have a very hollow sound like a clarinet. As I raise the head up, it becomes a bit more like a bassoon and eventually a bit brassy. I occasionally get stuck notes. I got one there, little bug at the moment. As I move the head higher, I can control, I also have it mapped to a vocal formant. Now this is fun, so I can go. And something else you may have noticed there's a lower octave coming in. When I press, that's coming from the pressure on the rolly keyboard. When I press harder, lower octaves come in. A lower octave. And, well, initially one lower octave, and then I bring in a Valhalla shimmer. Let me show you that one. So. The Valhalla shimmer brings in a whole set of lower octaves, wonderful rich sound. If I combine those effects of the formant plus the Valhalla stuff, I can do some really quite wild stuff. Another little detail, I've got a delay at the back of the keyboard, so I can use the rolly's ability to let you slide to bring in a delay at the back. So and last but not least, the foot pedal is mapped to distortion. So now I can go from a non-distorted sound to a pretty heavy distorted sound. Let's see, what shall I do? So that's the distortion, and then plus bringing in the lower octaves with the Valhalla shimmer.